Well, welcome to our Future Pilot Forum. My name is Tom Hiltner. I'm Vice President of Operations for FAPA, which stands for Future and Active Pilot Advisors. And what we do is right in our name, we advise future and active pilots. This is the major airline pilot hiring, so just the major airlines, the top 5 or 6 airlines, how many pilots they've hired since 1985 per year. The 2016 data, we don't have the December numbers quite in just yet, but we're pretty sure we surpassed the record up until then of I think it was like 4136 in 1990, just this year. So that trend is going to continue. We're going to go over why in a second. So when people ask, should I get into the industry? Is the industry going to be around? Is it a good idea from a career perspective? Yes. I mean, there's ups and downs. So there could be another down like was here in the early 90s and here in the early 2000s, 2008. But we expect that line just to kind of go up. We expect. If you don't believe us, because those are our numbers, you know, we're pretty trustworthy, but if you don't believe us, maybe Boeing. So they put out a forecast almost every year, and they've forecasted between 2015 and 2035, we're going to need 45,000 aircraft worldwide. So that's not pilots, it's just aircraft worldwide. That's how many more airplanes are going to be required. That translates into 617,000 pilots, and it's broken down by continent here between 2016 and 2034. So again, is there a demand for pilots? Will there be a job for you, in other words? Yes. By all accounts, all signs are pointing to yes. Could something happen, another major economic downturn or terrorist attack or things like that? Absolutely. But anything short of that, we see no reason why it's not going to be a fantastic profession.
Good afternoon. I'm Tyler Tenbrink with Piedmont Airlines. Just a little bit about myself, and I've got John and Talia with me. They're both recruiters for Piedmont as well. Currently, I manage the Piedmont Pilot Recruiting Department. I started in April, but I've been with the company since the beginning of 2015. So my background, I went to Kansas State University, their flight program, and then worked for Air Midwest while I was in college. So that airline is now defunct, but it is where I got my start. I was a ground handler and threw bags and checked people in. It was a blast. Having flight benefits as a college student was amazing. And then after I graduated, I went to Frontier and I was in fuel management, and then went back to Air Midwest and was in crew scheduling and dispatch. And then decided that after Air Midwest closed, I went to Great Lakes, which was contracted, and decided to be a station manager, and then got into safety. And then once that was all completed, I went to Garmin, which is the GPS company, and worked in their aviation department and trained pilots on how to use the G1000. And then I decided I wanted to get back into the airlines because it gets in your blood. It's a lot of fun. It's an addiction. And I went to Piedmont and was in their safety department. I was the manager of safety programs, and then decided to take over this responsibility. So it's been a wild ride. I graduated in 2006, and so I've been in the industry ever since. So we're going to talk a little bit about Piedmont and what the best thing to do and how to look for a school, and we're going to go from there. What we call our cadet program. Each of the wholly owned carriers, which is Envoy, PSA, and us, we're all owned by American Airlines. And we all have a cadet program. So that's your first venture into this. How many of you are getting ready to go to college or close to it? Anybody? Great. So once you guys start looking, obviously the industry is volatile. It changes on a daily basis. It's just the way it is, and it's always been that way. But you want to keep your eyes open because there are a lot of programs out there that will help you decide what college you want to go to, and then on top of that, where you want to work for the rest of your life. We kind of streamlined that as with American Airlines, and what we've done is we've created a program that essentially gives you the ability to be paid while you're in school, and then you interview while you're there. And then once you're done, you've got your hours, like they were talking about with the Maraflight. You come directly to us. You've already interviewed, you already have a job. And then once you sit your time, you'll go directly to American Airlines without an interview. So your career path is just paved.
Hey guys, I'm John. I am a Piedmont pilot recruiter, and I'm going to start off with a question. Raise your hand if you are considering going to college for aviation. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, most of you. I can't believe that I actually get paid to do what I'm doing. I get to travel around with a laptop. I have a home base, and I get to do recruitment. This is a really exciting industry. There's a lot of travel perks and benefits. I just got back from London a few days ago, and I paid $0.00 to get there. In a $3,500 business class seat with 2 5-course meals, and then I came back from London and had to pay international tax. It was $211 more to get another, business class seat on the way home. We can live pretty awesome lives in this industry, but I would highly recommend taking advantage of all the free money that's out there. Reach out career services, high school guidance counselors, make a name for yourself, get involved, know who your board of directors are. Women in Aviation has a ton of scholarships, and then there's a ton of different diversity organizations. And then I guess the last fun fact is you can get a $500 cash scholarship for writing an essay about drinking coffee if it has positively influenced your college studies. So the money's out there, and thanks for listening to me, guys.
Good morning. My name is Frank Vaughn, and with me is Casey Freeman. Casey is one of our senior recruiters, pilot recruiters. Hi, Casey. And we're going to talk to you about a Maraflight. So this is a profession of passion. You have to be passionate about this. You have to like this. You have to care about this, right? And what we offer is a chance to use that passion. And our core customers are FedEx, DHL, and UPS. So you can go several tracks here. You can go private pilot, get your licenses, then go up and go work for a commuter, and then go work for a major airline. You can go work for somebody like us who does freight, and then you end up at either those or major airlines. Our pilots stay, about 2 years? And then they go to the major airlines. They jump over the commuter side. Okay, our airplanes are not Airbus types. They're the old-fashioned freight planes. We have a flight operations department. We have mechanics. We have all that stuff. We have a dispatch ratio reliability of 99.4%. We have old airplanes, let's be honest. But our planes are reliable. What's that?
I said the planes are right there.
Yeah, they're the planes. Oh, that's the best part. So we have a full set of mechanics at each base. All of our airplanes are worked on at each base. We have a dispatch operation. We have a safety department. We care very passionately about safety. You get into some cargo airliners, it's a little mom and pop, right? And it's a little cheap. So be careful who you're getting into. Getting to some place that's got maintenance and they own the airplanes. That makes a big difference. I used to fly freight. So I was one of those people that got a bachelor's degree, then I went to flight school, got my flight licenses, and I became a pilot. I flew freight for almost 8 years, because at the time there were no jobs. I was in the 80s, 90s, where there was no jobs, right? And all I did was fly freight. So I flew an MU-2. Do y'all know what an MU-2 is? Huh? Rice rocket. Most horrible airplane in the world, right? But I flew MU-2s late at night in West Texas with giant thunderstorms around on the radar, weaving in and out of the thunderstorms, kind of jousting with these giant dragons in the night. And then one night I was just weaving around and around and around. I got into DFW and landed. And I sat there and I thought, man, that is the coolest job in the world, right? Because I just went out by myself with a multi-million-dollar airplane, flew safely through all kinds of stuff, landed safely, and, I'm the best pilot in the world. This kind of flying will give you that confidence. Okay?
I know Tom had mentioned that about the 65 retirement rule. And actually at Maraflight, we are able to take people that retire at 65 so they can still come and work for us as long as they have a first or a second class medical. So that's something interesting too. So we're either used as a stepping, or we're also used for, some of the retired pilots just don't want to stop flying because they love flying. So they just come and they stay at Maraflight.
Thank you very much for your time, and glad you're here.